This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about a new pedicab service started in Moses Lake, offering rides around town. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Troy White grew up in Moses Lake and recently served a 5-year stint in the U.S. Navy. While based in San Diego, he noticed hundreds of pedicabs or motorized rickshaws touring people around the streets and sights of that seaside city. White brought home his entrepreneurial spirit, investing in and restoring a used pedicab to start up his own business, White Bikes.
I've been studying entrepreneurialism since I was 22. But then I've wanted to own my own business since I was 13. So I'd mow lawns and do whatever, make money. So I kind of had that entrepreneur mindset of wanting to make money.
White installed a lawnmower engine to the once stripped down bike. It allows him to carry 3 adult passengers. He added a stereo system he can remotely control and USB outlets so passengers can charge their phones. At times, especially on Saturday nights, White's pedicab is a rolling party. The Big Bend Community College student explained why he wanted to give people rides around Moses Lake's downtown.
The #1 reason why I'm doing it is so I can put money in my pocket while I'm going to school. Yeah, that's the #1 reason. #2 is because it's opportunity. It's opportunity for Moses Lake to have something like this.
White sees himself as opening a new service for the tourism market in Moses Lake.
I'm leading the market when it comes to even tourism or helping people have a good time. So it's a leader in that role.
Who are White's customers?
I'm doing not a pub crawl, but I'm traveling people around from bar to bar. I've done a couple of dates. I've done one bachelorette party. I'm brand new. And yeah, I like doing tours. You know, people just want to ride it just to ride it.
White hopes to capitalize on future events in Moses Lake.
When the parade was in town, I would go just around the block. Just around the block, that's it. And people would pay $3. They'd huddle up all their kids on there and they'd pay $3. And it was worth it to them. You rode it yourself. It's a fair ride. It's like a roller coaster.
You can call White at 509-771-9011 or email at troyskateshop@gmail.com. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
A record amount of fire retardant has been flown out of the air tanker base this year to combat one of the worst fire seasons in the state's history. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
Fire season has left skies over much of Grand County still in a smoky haze, but at the U.S. Forest Service air tanker base at the Grand County International Airport, a fleet of aircraft is ready for another morning of trying to combat nearby wildfires. About 10 planes are lined up on the pad this morning, ready to take on some of the record 2.4 million gallons of fire retardant used by the base this season. And while planes like the venerable C-130 Hercules can carry considerable payloads, even they pale in comparison to the big birds at the back of the line, the DC-10 tankers. Based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the 10 tankers carry up to 11,500 gallons of retardant, more than 3 times what the next largest plane in the fleet carries. According to Assistant Base Manager Eric Toombs, the planes can dump their cargo, return for a refill, and take off again up to 6 times a day. Despite its bulk, the 10 tankers' pilots can maneuver into tight terrain in remote areas, making them a valuable asset in helping firefighters on the ground as they combat a blaze. 2 of the 3 DC-10s are stationed at the base for the next few weeks, as Toombs said the aircraft are needed on both the Chelan and Okanagan County fires. Toombs said he, the base staff, and the pilots appreciate the public's help in not deploying drones into the fire zones, as the fleet cannot fly into the area if any drones are spotted, potentially putting personnel on the ground at risk. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
What's white and yellow and red all over? If you said the local book telephone directory, the one with the purple sunset on the cover, then you're right. In print and online at statewideyp.com, it features up-to-date local maps, community information, and a calendar of events. With a restaurant dining guide with full local menus and a reverse directory, you're sure to find the number you're looking for. It's the best way to get the information you need. Pick up a copy of the local book today or visit statewideyp.com.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather. This weather segment is brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. We will get a gradual decrease in temperatures for this weekend around our area. For tonight, there is a red flag warning until 8 p.m. Saturday. This is mainly due to those gusty winds that may increase the threat of wildfires and also will impact our air quality and high wind watch. That's why there's a high wind watch around the area. Those gusts could go as high as 40 miles per hour, and in the higher elevations, they could go up to 70 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the almanac within the past 24 hours. We started off with temperatures above the normal for this time of year in the mid 60s, and average temperatures should be in the lower 80s, so we are around the normal for this time of year. Sun setting at 7:46 p.m. And for Moses Lake, maximum temperatures around the normal in the mid 80s, not as warm as that record high of 99 degrees in 1972. And we started off the morning in the mid 60s with temperatures above the normal for this time of year. That's sun setting at 7:45 p.m. And right now outside your door, lots of cloud cover, temperatures in the lower 80s and that dew point in the lower 50s with those winds pushing through from the southwest up to 14 miles per hour. Now remember, they could gust as high as 40 miles per hour, and for this weekend in the higher elevations up to 70 miles per hour. That may impact our air quality. It may be very dusty around the area. And also, it will be lots of cloud cover around the area along the Cascades. Heavy rainfall may be possible, and towards the coastal area, we may get a stray shower or two, but we're expecting drier conditions for our Columbia Basin. The threat of showers and thunderstorms is mostly towards the west of our state. Towards eastern parts is mostly windy conditions. Let's take a look at the coastal area. Those temperatures in the mid 60s with lots of cloud cover and heavy rainfall may be possible. The Yakima Valley in the mid 60s. A shower or two. Mostly drier conditions are expected, and towards the inland northwest, those temperatures in the mid 70s as well. Taking a closer look at our Columbia Basin, those temperatures ranging from the mid 70s to lower 80s, in the upper 70s for Ephrata, as well as towards Moses Lake, and maximum temperatures for Bridgeport in the mid 70s. Let's take a look at the extended forecast for the week. Now, due to the windy conditions, that may cause wildfires as well as dusty conditions around the area. Winds could go as high as the gusts could go as high as 40 miles per hour, and in the higher elevations around 70 miles per hour. We will also get a decrease in temperatures. Temperatures in the lower 70s, around 10 degrees below the normal for this time of year.
Paying your Grant PUD bill with ePay is like getting free cuts in line. You pay when you want, how you want. Get free cuts in line with Grant PUD ePay. Visit grantpud.org.
Oh, dude, I'm just in the theater. It's totally cool.
Ah.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it, but the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you may find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
But you're not even covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
Or how you may be covered for this, but not for something like this. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Keston Hiura has been named to the Perfect Game All-America First Team roster. Perfect Game USA is the world's largest scouting report service and has become a valuable and respected resource for college recruiters and MLB scouts. Hiura played center field for the Apple Sox this season and inked his name in the record books for the Wenatchee Ball Club. We had a chance to catch up with Keston during the season. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
Keston hit for a .356 average while playing for the Sox, breaking the single-season record in doubles, triples, and total bases. Keston's approach at the plate has been simple. He's not looking to break records, just looking to make contact.
I haven't really been paying attention to it. I've just been told, people coming up to me saying congratulations, but you know, it's just an honor. You know, just trying my best, hitting the ball as hard as I can. And
Keston has put in a ton of hard work on the field to be where he's at. The Sox center fielder gives praise to his hitting coach back in California for giving him confidence at the plate.
I've been with the hitting coach since I was 8. His name's Sean Thompson. You know, he's pretty much guided me to where I am now. And you know, not only the physical side of hitting, but also the mental side. So very thankful for his advice and his guidance throughout this whole process.
Keston hopes his monster numbers in Wenatchee continue back at UC Irvine. He expects big things from his college team this season and is hungry to show why.
So you know, getting that experience under the belt, it's going to pay off a lot this year. So excited for the year to come.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Hiura capped off his season with the Apple Sox, reaching base in 41 consecutive games. He ranked first in 4 hitting categories in the West Coast League, and his name appears in 15 of 17 top 10 categories. We wish Keston continued success when he steps on the diamond for the Anteaters. The Ephrata Tigers are gearing up for the start of the 2015 high school football season. Sean Wells has the story.
Ephrata football is stepping on the field this year with a new-look team. The Tigers lost 25 seniors from last year's playoff season, including 4 starting offensive linemen and quarterback. Head coach Jay Mills says the QB competition is up for grabs, with 4 kids battling for the starting job.
We won't know till next week who our starting quarterback will be, and we might split time there as things go on. But the offense is coming along. I feel good. I think we could play a game. Right now, we've got some things to polish up, but the kids are learning and working hard.
After getting a taste of the playoffs last season, the Tigers are hungry to make it back. Coach Mills thinks his team is ready for the challenge.
Absolutely. That's something we work towards every year. You know, we've been in the hunt the last 3 years, and last year we got in and got our chance to play in them. So, you know, we want to continue that and hopefully build off of it.
Ephrata opens up the 2015 season at home against Royal City. Last year when the 2 teams played, the Knights outlasted the Tigers 28-27 in a thriller. Ephrata senior Tyler Lutz knows Royal City well and can't wait to face them back on the field.
I've played them since I was in grid kids. I mean, they're all my age. We played them last year real close, and I just want revenge right now. I'm hunting for revenge.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Have a great weekend. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our next story is about the staff at McKay Healthcare in Soap Lake taking donations to help fire victims in the north central Washington region. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
The staff at McKay Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center in Soap Lake this week helped victims of the Okanagan complex wildfires. They shipped 2 McKay shuttle bus loads of more than 500 items to help the victims. Food, water, household items, even pet carrying cages were taken north for families left homeless by the fire's destruction. McKay's new administrator, Ralph Allen, explained how his staff came up with the idea to help.
On Friday, we were talking about, how this is strange. Is there something we can do? And the first thing that came to David's mind was, he said, well, I know they need water, because he says, I've done this on when he was in the Navy and the Army and that sort of thing. He says, they need water. And I said, well, I happen to have $20. I said, well, here's $20. And in about 20 minutes, they raised over $200 just on the day staff that was here on Friday. And we got some, we decided we would donate some stuff from the kitchen, and we loaded that stuff up, and he drove it up to Nispelum and Cooley City, and we thought, well, that's kind of neat, so why don't we see what else we can do?
The Soap Lake Nursing Home staff continues to accept donations. Staffers plan a food drive next month for fire victims. McKay maintenance worker David Dyer talked about the effort.
Now on the 18th of September, and we'll make a run up that following week, probably the 21st or 22nd, and it'll most likely go up to the Okanagan Food Bank or the Okanagan area.
Dyer and his wife Flora, who also works at McKay, took a second load north on Tuesday morning. The Soap Lake Nursing Home's outreach to the region's communities is highly supported by McKay's new administrator, Ralph Allen. Allen, who led McKay from 2008 to 2010, discussed why he returned to the post last month.
He called me back. We had some differences of opinion at the board level, let's put it that way. And so I gracefully left.
He last worked in Idaho Falls. Allen, with more than 30 years of experience in nursing home administration, has a second home with his wife in 9 Mile Falls near Spokane.
I accepted the job because I like this place. It's an historical institution and part of the fabric of Soap Lake and this little part of Grant County. And I don't want to see it fail.
The 42-bed nursing home with beds to fill has struggled to replace its decrepit heating system boiler through fundraising and a failed levy election. The problem was solved when the Paul Lozier Charitable Foundation recently awarded the nursing home a $98,000 grant to buy Columbia Basin Hospital's used boiler in Ephrata. The 75-year-old boiler was recently replaced and is now in operation. Another dream of Allen's is to develop about 15 acres of land south of the McKay complex into a naturopathic health care center. Allen said it would complement Soap Lake's healing water, spa, and natural medicine. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of these many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Welcome back. The next story is about fundraising efforts by a few Moses Lake residents to bring servicemen and women in the Grant County Fair. Reporter Cameron Probert has the story.
Dennis Clay and other Grant County residents brought members of the U.S. Air Force to enjoy the Grant County Fair. Clay started working on bringing servicemen and women to the fair last year when they brought 2 families to the fair.
We only planned it a week ahead of time. That's why there was only 2 families. This year we started about a month ago, and we had a bus planned to come, and then not as many people showed up. So one lady called and said, "Can I come down in our vehicle?" So they're bringing 4. There's 4 people coming, and they wanted to come in the vehicle because they have to leave before 6 o'clock.
Clay and Jim Turner were waiting for the family from Fairchild Air Force Base to arrive at the fair on Saturday to help pay for the trip and to give the airmen and airwomen some money to spend during the fair. Clay and others raised roughly $1,300 to pay for the visit.
Some of the money we have left over, we're going to save it for next year or buy some equipment for the airmen up there at Fairchild. Now, so we're going to get them into the fair and then give them some money for a space burger too. So we've got to have a space burger. Oh yeah.
Larry Godden with Millionaire offered to have a bus available to bring airmen and airwomen from the Spokane base to the fair. They didn't have enough people sign up to need a bus, but Clay hopes they will in future years.
So we'll take any airman. If one came, we'd be tickled to have them down here. So it's just a nice offering to get the airmen away from the base for the day and see what Grant County. Last year, a lady came that had never been to an airman came that had never been to a fair, and she said she'd never seen a cow up close. Seen them in the field, but not up close. The other family brought a 2-year-old, and he enjoyed the day and was crying when he realized he was going to leave at 6 o'clock.
Turner was one of the people who responded to Clay asking for sponsors.
I remember when Dennis was on the radio looking for sponsors, I couldn't dial my phone fast enough. You know, and it doesn't take very much money to help. And these military families, you know, they're fulfilling a need for our safety, and I don't know if enough of us fully appreciate that.
Both men said the activity reminds them of stories of when Larson Air Force Base was opened in Moses Lake. They said Grant County families would often help people serving at the base.
And then you could take an airman to home for a barbecue or take him to church and stuff like that. And we miss that, being able to say hi to him.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about the first annual Battle of the Badge charity softball game benefiting the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Columbia Basin. Reporter Joe Utter was there and has the story.
Moses Lake firefighters came away with bragging rights and the trophy at the first annual Battle of the Badge softball game against Moses Lake Police. The friendly rivalry between the two departments brought out the players' competitive side, but the game was about having fun and supporting a good cause.
We could have, of course, done better, but we had fun, and that's what matters, and it's for a good cause. So there was people falling down at times, so we gave the community some good laughs, and yet we still had fun doing it. It was a blast.
All proceeds raised from the event go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Columbia Basin. Organizers are hoping to make the event an annual tradition, especially after the support from the community in its first year.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. A lot of the community showed up, which just shows a lot of support for fire and police, which is a good thing to see. So yeah, I was happy with it.
Kids were entertained with activities between innings, a bouncy house, and fire and police vehicles on display outside the field. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.